left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Copy. Refueling complete.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Rearming complete.
Sushi, Springfield, 1-1. Request takeoff.
Adler information Charlie. Runway in use is 24. Wind 288 at 4 knots. Visibility 32. Cloud conditions fuel 80, rain. Temperature 8.2 Celsius. Altimeter 2992. Remarks 1013 hectopascal. QFE 2981 or 1010. End information Charlie. This is Sochi Adler information Charlie. Runway in use is 24. Wind 288 at 4 knots. Visibility 32. Cloud conditions fuel 80, rain. Temperature 8.2 Celsius. Altimeter 2992. Remarks 1013 hectopascal. QFE 2981 or 1010. End information Charlie.
well.
Hey, Tony.
I need to do a restart of my headset, so I will be right back.
Right on.
Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 053 for 130 at 7,000 cold.
And back. Mal gonna join us?
I don't know. He said he had to go pick up his kids at a party or something like that, or his son, and he might not be on, or if he is, he'll be late.
Is Bullet on?
He's on the server. I haven't seen any messages from him doing anything. Can't figure out where he is. Maybe he's on the boat.
Where are you off to?
You know, I don't really know. I've got a bunch of various air-to-ground weapons, and I'm headed to the range, but I was thinking about maybe doing some carrier traps in a couple of minutes.
Springfield 1-1, Magic pop-up group
AWACS is telling me
059
about
for
something. It's
130
130 miles
at
to the
2,500
northeast, but
cold.
I may go investigate.
Well, if you do want to do some carrier traps, I can call some passes for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 069 for 170 at 22,000 hot.
No, I just cycled through all the external views, and it looks like Bullet must not be alive.
Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 067 for 150 at 15,000 flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 063 for 150 at 15,000, flanking.
Altitude. Altitude.
Taking the active 2-4 for departure to the south.
066 for 250 at 30,000 knots.
I executed a no burner noise abatement takeoff and waited till I was 3 miles out from the airport before starting any major maneuvers.
Nice.
Springfield 1-1, Magic
The Hornet really is just a great piece of kit.
at 23,000, flanking.
Yeah, every time I fly it, I feel like I'm coming home. You know, like it just everything feels so good in it.
Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 088 for 180 at 20.
I'm running in and dropping 2 JDAMs on the bombing range.
Copy.
208. And I'll be rolling in from about 35 with a single Mark 83 on the range from the after the JDAMs hit. It's interesting, I think Australians have a JDAM with wings that they're working. Similar to the JSOW, but I think it'll do something like 45 miles of gliding, and it's like retrofitted to a Mark 82.
Springfield 1-1, Magic, Bra, 053 for 120 at 28,000, flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic, Bra, 052 for 120 at 28,000, flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic, Bra, 069 for 240 at 30,000, flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic, pop-up group, 057 for 100 at 2,500, cold. Springfield 1-1, Magic, pop-up group, 066 for 100 at 6,000, flanking.
I'm attacking the laser range from the east, level flight at Angels 12.
That's the one just by the river.
Springfield
Yeah, up by
1-1,
that lake,
Magic,
if you
Bra,
follow the river
066
north
Yeah,
from where you're in.
110 at
Got it.
6,000, flanking.
One away. Off north.
That's funny. I actually got closer to the target with a Mark 83 dumb bomb CCIP than I did with 2 JDAMs. It's got to be something with the coordinate.
Springfield 1-1, Magic, Bra, 058 for 120 at 28,000, flanking.
Attacking the laser range one more time from the north, and then I'll be following the river valley back towards the other ranges, and I'll be attacking the rocket range with Mavericks from the north. Probably about 4 minutes out.
Gotcha. I am 17,000 inbound to the laser range from the south. I'll make one pass and then egress through the valley out to the strafing range.
Altitude. Altitude.
We got visual on your smoke. I thought that was a kind of neat little place to stick that range.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I like it. You know, it's a really interesting bit of terrain, and I'm glad we're spending some time in this part of this map.
Yeah, you know, for all the flack that I took for suggesting moving it down from Anapa, that's why I wanted to do it down here. These mountains are so much fun to fly.
Magic bra.
I'm rolling in on the laser range, 15,000, and from rifle. And I'm down in the weeds for egress. Has anybody made it down south to play with the SAMs?
I have not.
Roll left, roll left. Roll left, roll left. Pull up, pull up.
I figured out how to get them to randomly spawn within a zone. So it should be at least somewhat interesting, not never knowing where they're going to pop.
4200 at 24,000 flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 080 4200 at 22,000 flanking. Springfield 1-1, Magic Bra 062 for 150 at 26,000 flanking.
I'm popping up to do a pass on the strafe range.
Magic Bra 064
Oh, I am in on the strafe range from the south
at
right now.
21,000 flanking.
Okay, roger.
Altitude. Altitude.
And I will be out to the west on pullout. too low again.
I've got a visual on you. I'm just rolling in.
Magic Bra 062 for 140 at 24,000 flanking.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah, it's almost pointless doing it without the actual strafe pit being visible.
Yeah. I was trying to remember where it was in relation to the smoke, and I thought it was just past the smoke when you're attacking from the south, but I haven't gotten any hits yet. And I've tried it probably 4 or 5 times since that patch.
Springfield 1-1, Magic Pop-Up Group 059 for 140 at 1,500 cold.
Oh, I killed a few things on a gun run down on the rocket range.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's actually kind of cool knowing that the same sort of strategy for running in on the strafe pit works. Alright, I am Winchester and 6.2 for fuel.
Likewise, and 7.6, so I am ready to head to the boat.
You want to form up and fly the...
Yeah, absolutely.
You want me to fly the lead, or you want to fly the lead?
You take lead, I'll form up on you.
Nine carrier is starting turn to heading 290 degrees.
All right, I'll get your stuff configured. 104 BRC 290 ICLS 9.
Yeah, I've got all that stuff set already. What's your altitude?
12.7.
1 ops.
And I'm doing 350.
Visual.
Nine case 1. Recovery ops are stopped. Deck is closed.
What?
Magic Bra 052
I did
for
see a message just like a minute ago saying that the boat was turning.
flanking.
Yeah, that was from me turning it on.
Just blowing past you here.
I wonder what it's doing here. Looks to be moving.
Nine, starting aircraft recovery, case 1 ops.
I'm just going to start a shallow right-hand turn.
Copy. Now, if memory serves, when we marshal and commence as a section, I don't need to phone it in or anything like that. I just need to stay within 200 feet of you.
Yep, bingo.
Nine, new final bearing 282 degrees.
I'm still doing 350 just in a shallow 2,000 foot per minute descent. Snugged yet?
Yeah, saddled.
Seven, six, one.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, it says I'm the lead and no other human flights.
761, roger.
What the fuckity fuck?
Seven, 6, 1.
Altitude. Altitude.
Well, I've never seen that before. So I don't know if you're actually registered. Do you want to switch over to the hand side so I can start this 180-degree turn?
Copy. Oh man, how long has my speed brake been out for?
A while. Could have been why it took you a while to catch me.
Yeah, after I must have deployed it a little bit and not noticed after the first time I overshot you. Now I don't know if people do it in the Hornet, but I have heard of guys having the boards out for carrier landings, just because it puts the engine in like a bit more of the responsive part of the power band.
Yeah, I know that was quite common back in the old days when they had slow response engines, but nowadays I think the engines spool so quick. I don't really think it's a concern, and frankly, the rail guys don't do it. So
761, case 1. Expected BRC 290.
did you get a call for Marshall?
2.
Yeah.
Expected Charlie time 1201 hours. Altimeter 29.92. Report steaming.
All right, I'm not really sure what it's going to do here, so should be interesting either way. But I'm just working us down to the BRC and at our altitude and our speed restriction before we enter the 10-mile zone. And you can move back to the right side. And T-skid off.
That's a good call.
All right, tracking on BRC 291, tacking on Needles are present. Fuck, it feels like a snail's pace doing 250.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Seven, 6, 1.
You got that
6,
call?
1, you're cleared
Hey, firm.
for case 1 recovery.
Alright, into the stack.
Seven, 6, 1, you're cleared for case 1 recovery.
I'm kind of wondering if I'm even going to trip the thing when we get around to.
Yeah, I've been getting all the calls saying I'm cleared and everything.
But I have two, which is weird because I'm 765 and they keep calling 760.
6, 1, you're cleared for case 1 recovery.
Yeah, I'm in 6-1.
Seven, 6, 1, you're cleared for case 1 recovery. 7, 6, 1.
Okay, well, we got the call to initial.
761.
I don't know if that calls for you or me, but I'm braking anyway. Give it a full 17. Yeah, I didn't get any of the calls, so it's like it's not even seeing me.
Yeah, I got all the everything. And I'm in the brake.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm getting your call. Red deck.
Battle contact.
Green deck.
You're high.
Easy with the power.
You're high. Call the ball. Roger,
761 Hornet ball 3.7.
lineup.
Come right.
You're high. Right for lineup.
Easy with the power.
You're high. Right
Come
for
right.
lineup. Wave off.
Power.
Got the wave off call. Listening to the LSO.
What was his wave off for?
I'm not sure. I felt like I was close enough.
Lined up left and high. I need to exit the game and come back in for the proper crosshair. And then we can tell
Sounds good.
the-
Paddles contact. You're low. You're fast. high. You're high. Come left. Come left. Call the ball. Roger ball. Come left. Come left. You're high. Come left. You're high. Welcome aboard.
Hey, nice work. It's no grade, but nonetheless, it's not.
Yeah, no grade is better than my usual cut or wave off.
Well, sticking with what the Stingers are doing, I'm thinking the grade to qualify on the carrier is a 2.0.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
So if you want to launch, I've got the proper overlay now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get. I'll get hooked up in the cat and take on just a little bit more fuel.
Yeah, I had Vex wave a bunch of my passes the other day, and him and I were absolutely on the same page about errors that I was making in the pass, and I waved a bunch of his, and again, we were on the same page. I was calling out the errors. He was saying, yep, that's exactly what I saw when I was in the groove. So we're both of the same mindset when it comes to how we're seeing things, which is good. So you can just, once you get gas, when you launch, just climb up to 600 feet, and then just turn downwind. And you can stay in the pattern. But a 2.0 average, even with air boss, is achievable. But I think having a human LSO calling it and the feedback from a human LSO will help the passes.
Request refueling.
And I think we're going to be a little bit more forgiving than airbot.
Now I need to wait for this, and then I'll check my fuel again before I launch, because I've got two empty fuel tanks on right now that I'm getting rid of in the loadout thing, but it fuels first, then changes the loadout, so I may suddenly be down 6,000 pounds of fuel that I'm expecting to have once they remove the bags. I don't know what
that wouldn't be good.
I don't know what where the fuel goes into first when refueling on the ground with empty bags. Well, you know what? I can probably look at it on the fuel page and see what's internal.
Well, I was just going to say, it should tell you internal. I think the bottom number is in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even right on the IFE, it tells you, yeah, internal is the bottom number, which is increasing. So that's where they're pumping it.
I would punch the bags as soon as you get off the deck.
They're the rearm will just remove them.
Oh, even better.
I'll just leave the air-to-air stuff on.
Refueling complete.
Went and picked up my bear from the butcher today. Just have a ridiculous amount of chorizo and pepperoni.
Awesome. How much did it weigh?
I haven't weighed it, but
Rearming complete.
Or like, can you estimate how much the bear weighed alive?
yeah, it was about 3.25 live. But I know when I dropped it off, it was 85 pounds bone in of the 4 quarters, and then I had probably another, I don't know, 6-8 pounds of backstrap that I held on to.
Oh, didn't set trim. Oh well.
So 600 on speed. Keep the gear down. Just get yourself trimmed for on speed. Yeah, just get yourself nice and level and trimmed out at 600.
All right, turning to downwind.
I'll call you a beam. Beam. So just be watching your descent rate. You only want a couple 100 feet per minute and aiming to be at 500 feet at the knot.
I'm a bit high.
I was actually going to say you are a bit low. You are well low. Easy with the power when you come up here. You don't want to fly up through the glide slope. You're coming up on glide slope, a little bit more power. Power. Come right. Little power. Don't let it settle. Come right. Work the ball, and there's glide slope right. Don't let it drift too much. Correction to the left. Come down a little bit. Not too much. Don't let it settle. Don't let it settle. Don't let it settle.
Seven, six, one.
So little low to start and a little right to start. Drifted left in the middle. Came up to glide slope in the middle. And then you had a big settle in close.
Yep, I agree. That's also what I saw. Yeah,
From
just
from my point of view, when you were coming through the 45 is where you started getting low. At the 90 you were good, but you started picking up a big settle as you started coming around the 90. At that point, you really want to be if you're at 90, if you're at the 90 and at 500 feet, you should be starting to glance out and try to see the ball from that point, and see if you can pick up the ball. If you're not flying the glide slope needle, you should, because the glide slope needle will come alive around the 90. And what you want to aim for is the velocity vector should sit on top of the glide slope line. So if you can picture the glide slope line like a table, put the velocity vector like a ball sitting on top of the table.
Yeah, so I think one, I was fairly long in the groove because I was at the 90. I was at just over 700 feet, so that's why I was cutting the power way back. But then, because I was so far astern of the boat, that that altitude actually wasn't too bad, and I shouldn't have made such a big correction.
Yeah, interesting. I really wasn't paying attention for time in groove, so it didn't seem absurdly long, but you should never have been at 700 feet.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I was really trying to correct for that, and just overcorrected.
But if you're low coming around, past the 90 and in towards the groove, if you find yourself low, you definitely want to give it some power to get yourself back up on glide slope. But remember that when you come out of the turn and roll into the groove, you're going to need to shed airspeed. Like if you're, I was kind of talking to you and Mal about this, but if you're flying level at 600 feet and you roll into a turn, you need to pick up speed to stay on speed AOA, right? Like you're going to go from, say, 130 knots to 135 to 137 knots. So likewise, if you're coming around the corner and you're low and you give it power, you might see 145 knots on the what's it called, airspeed indicator, to stay on speed, to lift your altitude back up. And what happens is when you roll out, all that energy is converted into lift, and you wind up with a big balloon, which will then result in you taking all the power out of it. And then when you're at a high AOA of 8.1 and you take all the power out of it to get it back on glide slope, you start settling. So then you're starting to fight pilot-induced oscillations where you were low, so you gave it a handful of power, and now you're going really high, so you take it all out. Now you're going low, so you have to put it back in, right?
Yeah, that's not even just carrier work. That's my landing pattern in a nutshell right there, yo-yoing on the power.
Yeah, so, you know, what I would suggest, sorry I didn't call you a beam, but you're there. What I would suggest is if you see a trend develop, add power to stop the trend and then pull half of it back out to set the new setting of power. So if you have to add power, add a handful, take half of it back out. Altitude looks a little low. So put in sort of that handful of power and then take half of it back out. Coming up towards the glide slope a little bit better. Don't balloon here. And come right. And you're high. Come right. Don't settle. Power. Easy, easy, easy. You're left all the way. Your glide slope control was much better that pass, right up until in close where you fed it sort of a handful of power. And
yeah, I could tell when by the time I was getting to in close and I was 100 feet high, I'm also trying to get myself out of the habit of saying like, screw this, it's a video game, I'm just going to put her down anyway. Like, no, if that's if the approach calls for a wave off, well then I'll wave it off.
But remember, you know, that sort of walking the throttles that I was talking about. If you find yourself high, pull out a handful of power, put a little back in. And if you're still high, pull a handful of power out, put a little back in. If you're still high, pull a handful of power. You know what I mean? Like those throttle adjustments need to be constant. There's never a point in the pattern where my hand ever stops moving on the throttle. So if you're in the groove, your hand will be moving constantly, making those corrections. And like I can't stress how much I mean when you need to correct something. It's X amount of power goes in, half of it comes out, or you pull off X amount of power and you put half of it right back in. It doesn't have to be large adjustments. It can be small adjustments where you're pulling a little bit of power and putting half of it back in. And you just walk the throttles constantly to work your altitude down. But remember, no pitch, no stick. You're just going to set the computer up to start fighting with itself. What's your BRC beam distance in the lower right corner of the HS?
I'm 1.2 by TACAN on the HUD.
But not on the HUD, on the right corner of the HSI, lower right corner.
Oh, fuck. Let me just prevent myself from hitting the water here. I see where I've got my BRC of 290 plugged in.
Yeah, there should be a number just above that.
Oh, I need to clear my home fuel master caution here, I think, to get rid of that.
Oh, you should put your HSI on your right screen. HUD on the left.
Okay, well, it was 1.2, but that I'm like, well, yeah, so anyhow, it says 1.2C.
Okay, so that's your deviation from, oh, you just started bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, I'm like looking down at my HSI and just giving it throttle so I don't hit the drink, but then I'm like trimmed way up, so I'm going way up in the sky.
No, I think the server's jumping. No, so what I was saying, So you want that on your right screen, so you never have to worry about home fuel cautions, but you want to be able to see what that distance is. So don't just rely on the boat, but I'll give you a tip. Like, you're rolling out left and left all the way. If you find you're consistently left and left all the way, try moving your beam distance in. So instead of 1.2C, try 1.1C.
Yeah, that's what I should do, because I am consistently left the whole way in.
Yeah, so I mean, that the other thing to do is, if you're consistently left all the way in, shallow out your banking.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to go like 25 degrees or so instead of 30.
Yeah, and it's not it's never exactly the same, right? If you're a little bit wider a beam, then you need a shallower turn, and if there's so many variables that go into getting behind the boat at the right. So I think you're a ways out, but it looks like glide slope there. But I think the server's not happy. I think come right. Come right. And power. Power. There you go. Don't let it settle. I think you were long anyways, but no hook's gonna not help you stop.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're just raise the hook so that you can let go of the cable, and then launching off the straight deck with no catapult. You forget to put the hook down.
So watch your altitude. So for a bolt or pass, you want to come off the deck and just climb up to 600 feet. No high. Make sure you get on speed before you turn in. You're well past a beam.
Yeah, I was just trying to settle my throttle up and down a little bit.
All right, altitude's looking good, going a little high. Definitely high.
Case 1, recovery ops are stopped. Deck
Going
is
higher. Oh, is the carrier turning? I think the carrier's turning.
I can deal with that.
Crush it. Should have Huey
99
dogfights after
carrier
this.
Starting turn to heading. 183 degrees.
Alright, he's turning left.
You got this.
I'm going to need to make a real hard turn at the end here.
Yeah. Don't let it settle too much. You're coming down through the glide slope. Nice. There you go.
Ah. It's probably for the best. Alright, see if I can catch a wire coming from this direction.
Ballsy. Nope.
The fact that I didn't die is impressive.
Pretty impressive. Alright, the boat's looks like it's straightened out, so you should be able to kill it. Almost killed something.
Right back on glide slope, no problem.
Way high. Speed brake, speed brake.
99 new final bearing. 098.
Ooh. That's okay. Your gear looked a little cockeyed.
Yeah, I did hit pretty friggin' hard there.
Yeah, for your touch and go. I thought I put in 4 Hueys.
So 2 of the Hueys are not set to client, so as soon as a human takes off, the other 2 take off and join him.
This I remember because I was shooting them down.
Yeah, same.
Request rearming. Copy.
Rearming complete.
Which one are you? Are you the one on the furthest? Oh, you're the one taking off.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
Taking out your wingman. Oh, good strike.
Uh-oh.
No, whoa, whoa.
No problem. No problem.
So what do you think? You want to take a running start from each side of the runway?
Sounds good. I'm heading to the southeast.
Perfect. I'll head to the northwest. All right. Rules: cold merge, and we'll take each other down the left hand.
Alright, turning around. I'm probably at like 1,000 feet. I'm going to come down a little bit.
Okay, I'm at 600, and
Yeah.
just at. Yeah, I've got you. I'm just turning onto the runway right now. Okay, turning in. Cold merge, 500 feet. Fight's on.
Oh, why am I on rockets? Classic.
I put some good rounds into you too.
Oh yeah, I was. I think I was recording that. Yeah, you probably killed or probably should have at least killed the pilot and co-pilot before the collision, because I had some pretty big holes in my windshield.
Go again.
Yeah.
Request rearming.
Copy. Rearming complete.
All right, I'm at
Okay.
the end of the runway, ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm at the threshold, just turning around.
All right, like 300 feet-ish, 400-ish.
Contact. Fight's on.
Oh, I just got some wicked jittery lag there.
Yeah, you're.
You're going everywhere.
Yeah, ditto.
You appear to be upside down. We'll score that a maneuver kill.
SL Mod says that was mine.
Yeah, I definitely tagged you early in that engagement, but you don't look like you're very damaged.
Yeah, and ditto. I got a good hit on your tail rotor.
I'm external on you. I don't see any damage at all.
How's that for a landing?
Nice.
Just Huey parts scattered all over the place.
2 weeks ago, we had a flight here. We had a pretty good one. That guy, Colonel Hogan and Merlin, Mal was on, Moody, myself, Marvel, and Luke, I think. And so we did some screwing around. Or we did like some actual training, did some formation stuff, laser guided bombs, refueling. But then we came here and landed, and someone jumped in a Black Shark, someone jumped in a Vegan, someone jumped in an F5, I jumped in a Huey, and like it was just anarchy. Blowing up all those F-117s.
That's awesome. I haven't had much of an interest in getting any other helicopters in this game, but I thoroughly do enjoy the...
Yeah, I quite like the Huey. I really wish it was like a multiplayer, multi-crew thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. For your best buddies go flying in a Huey.
Yeah, and I mean, like right now, Hueys are kind of just like a diversion that we screw around with sometimes, because it's pretty hard to make a mission that can have, you know, an F-14 flying at Mach 1 point bazillion and a Huey all in the same mission. But if you had a couple of guys all in a Huey, and particularly I think if they were multi-crew and like have some Huey missions, I think that would be a blast.
I don't think I'm doing any good for my SL mod score. Yeah, there's got to be a way that we can do something involved with the, like actually get some sort of mission going.
There's a whole bunch of dudes all standing on the runway now.
Yeah, I chased him out there. And I'm out. That was a good pass. Have you learned how to use the gun sight and fly from the co-pilots?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't do it very often, but I did back when we were still on the Persian Sword campaign. I was flying the Huey a little bit and doing that.
Yeah, I did the Argo campaign with the Huey. It teaches you a lot about flying it.
I like how you don't get credit for a landing.
Oh yeah, because I guess I'm on the roof, eh? Killed it. Is there a helo pad around here? I want to see if I can just absolutely hammer a specific landing.
Well, how about yeah, keep heading north, and just on your 11 o'clock, there's those couple of trucks and fuel truck and the ATC tower.
Yep.
Try and parallel
just
park
flew
right in there. Yeah, you just flew past. There's like a fire truck, a little short ATC tower.
Yeah, I'll turn around and make a run at combat land.
Yeah, my not that my landings in the Huey are spectacular, but they actually got a little bit better when I started landing it a little bit more like a plane instead of trying to just do a complete hover down.
Like this. 80 knots. How's that?
That was not bad.
Yeah, I was 80 when I called out 80 knots. I still managed to pull it down and stick that. Fly around the pole and do it again. Only do it so many times before I'm going to break something. There we go.
Well, that looks like landing to me.
I don't know what I did as the rotor goes spinning past me. I don't know what I did there. I was trying to run over those three guys. Oh, I did too. Oh, I must have hit that. You see the three guys sitting beside that gigantic radar? I tried to hit them while I was flying over them. Judging by the fact they're lying there dead, I think I did. Alright, I guess call it a night, eh?
Yeah, it's bedtime for me.
Well, that was good hijinks.
Yeah, always like to have some hijinks after a flight.
Yeah, I gotta say, the last time I did dogfighting in the Huey, I did it with Matt over the ocean, and I got really nauseous. I think doing it over land, there's a lot more